really being able to control on defense and have a very strong default on attack. Again, watching Futbolist back on this, they'd love to isolate those gaps in the defense and expect them to explode very quickly on the back of it. As soon as they find that first blood, or they find a weakness, so to say, in the setup, time and time again, they will go back to re-explore. So that for me, really, and I will say at Guild, you know, one of the biggest criticisms has been discipline, right? Is their ability to kind of maintain structure throughout rounds.
Yeah, you're right. Now, this has to be a reset. Now, you see the short pressure coming in, and it's dedicated. 4 players pouring on through. 2 now being kind of split between. Now, actually, there's a good shout for Guild to do some damage here because they haven't cleared out the 2 players from A main. There are still problems, but there we go. The final one is Yassine still fighting. Moj, though, finds a little bit of room, and now Yassine tries to fade away into this. Actually going to get himself that ult if he can. Okay, nice. What else can he do with this? Just catch every bit of utility. Yeah. But it'll add a bit of paranoia if he bides his time going, well, maybe he could go short. So maybe you could try and throw him off, but the HP is pretty good for Futbolist here. This should be theirs. Yeah,
Mod's actually in a disgusting position. That's going to be the counter pick, but perfect example there. As soon as Guild show a bit of presence on A main, show the tendency to want to fight for it. I mean, actually, that rotation comes through all the way from mid link. They literally run across mid, up short, and they pinch through from tree. So that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. As soon as they find that gap, Futbolist, they're not afraid to just explode.
Great start for the Futbolist. And if I'm not mistaken, it's something mad. They've got like a 100% conversion rate here, so they should be just fine. Again, I feel like this being one of their good maps, the stats, I don't like stats because they kind of don't necessarily give you the context.
Stats don't lie, though, Lauren, so...
Oh, God. Yes, it is not surprising on their best map. They often win the second round, but they do, I think it's like 100%, which is quite a nice little, you know, safety precaution for the fans who are on the copium already. So, gives you a little bit of, you know, a little bit of buffer here. Should be fine.
He's going to get spotted out by the Owl drone. Leo as well, actually going to show his position. A couple of tracers spotted out here, but really big objective is for Guild to do some damage. The economy early on. Safe gets shut down. Krax is probably going to find the second as well here on the back of the wall. He will indeed. Good ultimate progression already for Krax. Draken very deep on A main. He's stuck behind a trap wire, and again, he's just looking for an exit over there. Or not, he will be given one. Maybe Sasuke, but he can't pick which one he wants.
Oh, there's no good choice.
No.
Nice work from Futbolist. Perfect start, clean, exactly what you'd want. Now, bonus round comes in. Let's see what the buys like. Do they do anything special for that? I'm not sure. This, again, just highlighting that previous wrap up here. Nicely done. Now, this is the one that matters, though, the round we're coming into. We're going to have the big buy, the big boy buy coming out for Guild. So they've got, you know, all the money into this. But on the other side, we do at least have the bonus round. Now, so our expectations shift, right? This should be a Guild 1 round. But let's see if Futbolist truly are this good on this map.
They are stacked up right now. This time around, actually, Bonkar going to slightly adjust his utility on A main.
Pulling them in.
Try to get this gravity roll here, but not going to catch anybody. Magoo able to just slip into cubby.
Great work. Brilliant follow-up as well. 2 huge picks. Now the site's looking so vulnerable. We've got one on there. Yes, it may be Leo, but unlikely to do much more. And they actually fade away from this.
Yeah, one player Guild rotated over. It's Draken now. As soon as the hit doesn't come through, you can see them considering. Actually, no, they're stacked, one in heaven, one in hell, and Futbolist actually going to creep back on and maybe try and find the timing on this wall dropping. Should be another 10 seconds or so. Going to give it a little bit of a... Actually, no, they're just going to counter wall. They're going to wait for it to drop. This is terrible timing.
Yeah. Is Leo still here? Question mark. I mean, oh no, if they all cross, there could have been a world where, you know, as I said, look, after the first map, I'll give it a shot. But this is very well considered by, once again, Futbolist. Good site take. This is the bonus round, and they've outdone Rifles. Now, with them taking over this site, patrolling around, have they been able to grab any of those Rifles left over? I'm going to look towards the upgrades. I think Sasuke and Qrax to see if they can get any others out of this. Yeah, look at that. Brilliant. This is perfect for Futbolists. They can't be happy with how this went.
Right there, I say the timing's terrible. It's perfect for Futbolists. Looking more about Draken hopping into his Aldrome, but did manage to slip away. I'm actually surprised to not see. I'm not sure if Magoo was one of the ones that carried an SMG into this, but he did have his dash available to kind of close the distance on that. Futbolists, little things like that, tendencies of not wanting to be too overly aggressive there, prioritizing the site control is actually a big win when we talk bigger picture here, from kind of remaining disciplined and not giving too much away to Guild.
The Futbolists, they've got to be happy. After that previous map where it was arduous and probably a little rough, you got to sit there and be like, okay, let's get our heads back in the game. This is you can't ask for a better start for them. They're going to be happy with this, reset that mentality after feeling probably a little shaken on map 1, because that was a whole new style to deal with. It was really overwhelming, I'm sure, when you had great individual play kind of coming through. Now be able to get themselves back onto a nice lead, good start, and the economy couldn't be better, of course. So at this point, 2 Rifles out, still with Draken and safe. The rest going to supplement with a fair bit of armor invested for Yassine, and little bits and pieces here and there. Not a complete throwaway round for Guild.
You're trying to jump spot main here. This poised. Hit on towards B here. Magoo actually going to dash through. I don't think he's spotted Safe's position. He's posted with a rifle, but doesn't actually get any damage on the way in. Now isolated on site.
Yeah, this is safe on his own. Pretty much, he's got Leo there. Oh. Not too far away. They still make something of this. These individual plays, the spacing and the trading is just not quite there for Futbolists in some of these rounds. And they're being punished for this. Surprising, I thought this was going to be theirs, but Qrax and Moj still have a chance of this. Bonka gets double-faced, but the trade comes out. Good work from Leo once again. Never dipping away. Moj trying to get some info on this, and he's found it all, and he doesn't like what he's found because that spike is in enemy hands. 13 seconds, and it's going to fade away to nothingness. Again, this spacing, Hypok, I'm super surprised that they're able to punish these individuals. There's no trades. They're, allowing these individuals to have these moments.
Yeah, and ultimately there, Crack's desperately trying to recover the round by going for the revive, and I guess anticipating Guild, because it's a spike. The spike actually gets lost on steps there. And right there, it's so difficult for Futbolists to then dig that out. I mean, you can see Leo, perfect response is just put the wall up, right?
Yep.
The fact that it's able to reinforce before they're able to do any damage there. So yeah, they completely avoid lane, and it's safe. The one guy that gets isolated, I thought was potentially in the worst position when Leo backs up, actually is the one that bails Guild out.
And now, we go again though. Are Futbolists going to become their own biggest enemies with these small mistakes? These I say they're small, they are the fundamentals. You can see they have prowess, they have aim, they've got great approaches, but sometimes they get just a little caught off with it. For now, 3-2 split. This is very, very common from what I saw in their game, especially against Oxygen and a couple of other teams. This is something they run quite often. They will depend on that pressure through short and often just kind of pinch towards site. So I'll be interested to see how Leo and Yassine deal with this.
Look at that wall.
Yep.
Again, just trying to isolate a gunfight, one side or the other. Yassine actually gonna try and reposition behind it. Gives away a sound cue, but so Sasuke gonna find Bonker on the way and still giving actually Futbolist an entry. Yassine desperately tries to get something done, but it's just Mod's left standing now, Lauren.
The spikes recovered, they're both stacked up. Moj. Sky can never be underestimated, but located. Oh, he's done for. He's done for. Wrap it up. And there's some stability, but roll it back to the start of that round, because that wall really stood out to me again. It does seem as though Leo, yeah, it may not be just through kills here, he's like 3 to 4, it's nothing wild, but even his just kind of utility usage is really giving them some favorable moments to take these fights.
Yeah, like I said, it's another one of those scenarios where that slight adjustment of utility, it's a 3 to 5 second window to allow numbers for Guild to come across. And then again, actually following on from that, you're seeing popping the showstoppers, and I think that you have to respect it. In close quarters, when you're stuck outside tree behind this door, the last thing you want to hear is that showstopper sound cue.
Yep. Now, again, looks like that similar piece towards middle. I've seen plenty of times Sturban trying to push up towards mid, but again, the wall's right there. This seems so well... I don't want to say anti-stratted, but they just seem very aware of how Futbolists are playing this, or have in the past. The amount of times I've seen Sturban just walk mid to get so many punishes going on. But for now, he'd have to reveal position if he does want to do this. And of course, there it is. Opens up the wall, at least for now. Gives himself that opportunity whenever he decides to want to do it, but Leo is lurking around in the background.
Now... Magoo, I mean, I said it earlier today, a bit of an emphasis on him getting this operator rolling on attack, being such a huge investment, maybe turn the tides. Being actually going to hop the trap wire in main. They're not going to be anticipating this. We'll find one kill and able to get out actually.
Short. What's the plan for short here?
Straight away, look at this though. They take contact and A main Futbolist will slip behind them up short and it will give them A side.
They left a gap, a very glaring gap. So for now, spike planted. Now, post plants are going to be tricky. They only have, let's say, positioning-wise, Heaven can be noted.
Well,
short is the only vulnerability.
I was going to say, they just have to play scrappy crossfires on site with Guild holding on to main control and the man advantage.
Easier said than done, but yeah, I'm with you on it. But Leo's just kind of taking strides through this right now, and look at this. So unaware, what are the cons on that? Bonka find it out of nowhere. Moj doing everything he can, but not gonna happen. The retake's perfect. And again, Guild very aware, giving them just enough room to make their own mistakes within. Futbolist, yes, they have that little bit of an effective trade out. The information that you're seeing found, they quickly try to lean in through short, get the spike down, but the post plants, all they had to work with was short. Everything else was controlled.
One enemy remaining.
Wasn't at that point actually it's very well set up by Guild because they're able to just smother Futbolists, honestly.
Yeah.
Just literally suffocate them in those spots. And it's so difficult really to play like, you know, a crossfire from behind generator and in hell because it relies on Guild ultimately doing something stupid and somebody hopping off and giving away that first kill.
Again, a little bit of a different look this time. Not that same kind of short crunch coming out. We do have a bit of a lean towards B. Leo being the smoke criminal himself. Look at this. 3 players on the other side. He makes his appearance, but he loses his life. Q-Rack's going to punish. Not this time. Safe. Not alone here, but are going to find the first fight. Yes, Yassine also does get his down towards Sturban, but the res comes out. So Futbolists still have 3 standing. Turn around, and in the blink of an eye, it seems, finds Yassine.
Down to 2 now. Bonko actually going to get isolated potentially inside defender's spawn. Futbolist's going to hit the rotate. Now Magoo has left himself in a really cheeky spot. He can backstab here. It'll be terrible. There you go. This is the first time Guild have, and I guess it's only one person, but they've tried to readjust and address mid in the early round, right? And it's only Leo. Whether or not that's Guild sending out a feeler or you know, maybe considering that.
He did kind of go for a bit of a dangerous one. He was sat in a smoke.
Yeah.
No wall this time, you know. A little risky.
That's why I want to say it's a feeler.
And want to go for it. Exactly. It was that like, okay, this isn't a full commitment, but working it out. Futbolist, though, getting one back on the board is vital. Guild's money gets kind of hindered from swelling into that kind of unrecoverable position. Futbolists continue to maintain the lead, 4-3 here. Now, ultimates online will be Moj and Sasuke, Sturban as well. On the other side, 3 present, Bonka, Leo, and Draco.
The interesting is that they noted 2 members, not 3 of Guild, and now with that smoke, whether or not that keeps Draken here, he's going to sit back and maybe play as Hunter's Fury here, but Futbolist going to get all this early side control on the way in with no damage coming through, actually.
That's surprising. And here we go. Leo this time, surely. Yeah, can't get away with it. He's being overwhelmed. You can see he still finds a 1v1, but he can't win it. Safe tries to lean in to try and give him some support. It's too late. Sasuke looking so deadly, as Yassine does a little bit of damage, but there you go. It's all favorable trades this time, and Yassine gets left feeling a little silly. Does well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Sasuke actually closing the distance on Draken there. As soon as they, I guess, spot out Leo, they leave Sasuke in this position outside switch, and he's actually able to shut down Draken just after the Owl Drone actually gets attacked. So he must have slipped his way through there and removes the possibility of the Hunter's Fury getting used. That could be, in that scenario, you know, a big game changer.
5-3 now. And the rifle remain for Leo. Well, the rifle's still on Leo here, as everyone else is going to be on the Sheriffs. You going to do anything interesting with this? Oh, you seem... How? How, where, and why?
So that was from short to middling.
Yes.
Okay. But the barrier's not even broken. You still see the barrier there. Okay.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Hypok, what's happening here? Why is the team with the pistols doing well?
Well, Guild are actually now in a position where they can sit back because they don't have too bad a numbers game versus either side here. And Draken going to find cracks boosted up as well. Safe from Draken clinging on to dear life on B site here and allowing this rotation to come through.
One enemy
This ain't
remaining.
it. This ain't right.
No
This
way.
ain't right. Not like this. What? Sasuke left reeling, and yeah, there's like hardly any armor on the. Whoa, what? Yassine was just chilling there.
I heard that sound cue and I was like, I mean, they were convinced Sasuke was still on lane. But I heard that sound cue, I was like, wait, where's Yassine?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, what are these rounds, man? What are these rounds? I mean, this is just, again, I do feel as though, one, we are seeing that punishment for that slightly less refined space. I still can't believe that happened, but that slightly less refined spacing and the kind of punishment. The first one, I still don't know how Sturban died. I have no idea how Yassine got that.
I'll be honest, it was only really rounds like that were able to change the momentum of Haven and Guild this time around on the, I guess the benefiting side of that. Now, looking at it, actually, that's going to do wonders for the economy of Guild. Taking a round win like that. The Cosmic Divide, Revive available. Scene and Draken nowhere near their ultimates though. And on the side of Futbolist, Sasuke, Sturban, and Modge. Magoo 2 away from the Blade Storm as well. Now, we talk about kind of the bread and butter agent composition that, you know, Futbolists kind of rely on. We do look towards the Hunter's Fury and the Blade Storm to be the ones that, you know, the kind of the big element for some of these executes, right? Or finding a first blood and then kind of finding that gap and closing it down. So these are the rounds really you look towards Futbolists to set up and really build something around that ability.
This game is putting me through the ringer, man. This game. Okay, we've got, you're right, we've got those ultimates up. Moj will unlock out. Patience being shown at the start here, right? This is a little bit cautious and be meticulous, and it looks like once again that lean towards eventually short, maybe the 3-2 split they do like. But a common piece with the wall again in place. Leo seeming to be everywhere with that wall wherever they want to go.
Again, still things like we talk about old meta, right? You got to consider Magoo and Sturban are the two agents that can get over this wall. So Guild have to respect it. They can't just wall it off and leave it. Again, with the number of times Futbolists have been counter-walling as well. Also a possibility. Hunter Fury going to get popped, but Bonkar finds a kill onto Magoo elsewhere.
Yeah, but Sturban's right there to find it back on Bonka. But here's that utility used towards short. Great work from Moj. Now the ultimate's invested. Leo's now been noted, tries to make the play ahead of it. Does it, gets away with murder, but gets shut down eventually by Sturban. Great work from Sturban to keep this in check, keeping those trades favorable. Is now safe left in the 1v2. Position noted earlier, but how much can they do with it now? Maybe a double stack towards Hell? Yeah, looks like it. Keep it real safe. Tricky to do anything against. Slow comes in. Slowly now having to work his way forward. I don't see how he'd get a 1v1 out of this. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Seems as though that might be the way he wants to do it. And now time, Hypoc. He ain't got much left.
Cade's going to allow him possibility to relocate, but again, he's still going to dig this double stack out. Anticipating a second, but no idea. The Sturban's just tucked in the corner. Really well played. Doing cracks and Sturban there. Futbolist will put themselves on 6 rounds. Now, this is the other thing. I talk about bread and butter and back to basics. Look at the scoreboard right now. This is just down to like fundamentals. It's trading back and forth. Everybody on both sides pulling their weight here. I mean, I don't even think anybody's broken double digits yet, Lauren. Look at it.
No, it's just a heavyweight match, right? This is just blow for blow.
It's going back 9 months in like a time capsule.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, it's really weird to watch. Genuinely, it's quite a unique game we're seeing come out. And at 6-4, it's a close game. Futbolists I'd still say make this look like their favored map. I think that's pretty fair. They look good on this, but not flawless. But yeah, that aggression's gonna be red. Safe trying to get away with it, but we saw the Futbolists changed up the pace, right? We saw the kind of, switch around to this more passive, patient play to catch any of the aggression, maybe trying to read this mid piece that comes out from Futbolist.
Sturban going to get some good progression through, but you're seeing will respond and bring it back to a 4v4 now before Futbolists have got close to a site. Actually going to try and nade off that res. Don't think he's going to get the damage on it though. You were able to dash away just in time.
You see it on the step out, man. Good trade for, coming back in from Magoo, but Bonka willing to reaggress towards this. Good information piece as well, but Magoo's lingering around. Exactly that. So this is gonna be, but Draken. No way. No way. No way. Just holds down mouse 1. He does again. Eventually get found, but Leo's there for the trade. And that spike's now lost. Magoo is in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't matter right now. This is almost impossible. 8 seconds. Leo denies again. Magoo may find him, but Bonkar can just live, and you don't get past Leo.
Yeah, do you know what the other thing as well is Sturban using his ult there. It literally removes himself from the equation. So the fact that, at that point, Draken even going 1-for-1 and catching the headshot on the second, Leo times his slow wall perfectly when that wall drops. Perfectly. Usually, scenarios like that where you could look at Guild and say, oh, they're spread so thin that, one gap is created and it's so easily kind of punished by any team. Actually, when you look at that thought, you're seeing finally going aggressive.
If you got it, use it, right? Round 12? Why not?
Well, the other thing is, every other ult available, Draken only one off the Hunter's Fury, so this is tough for Futbolist.
They've hit a bit of a brick wall. It took some time, it seemed, to come in from Guild, but now with these positions, the cross-through is just horrific. You don't want to go through connector there. You're looking towards maybe CT is a better bet, but Leo's on the case here, noting this. Still aware that someone could have slipped through potentially. You can see the paranoia.
Up, man.
Yeah, this is mad. Okay, yeah, Leo has to back away. Goes back in, calls out. All right, CT's in trouble. Sturban still finds him. And the re-aggress from Bonkar's a little much for my taste, but still, maybe wanted to keep track on this. Now, where do they go? They've got 43 seconds. They've got time, and Yassine's 5 HP. Oh, what? The nade gets a kill? What?
No way. He finds a third as well. Magoo finally trades him out, but Sturban and Magoo, 73 HP between them. Draken Hunter's Fury could find the kill onto the planter here. Just off. Sturban opted not to plant on default there. Will keep him alive for the time being.
Magoo's aggression, though, do you expect it? Looks like Draken's gonna... Oh, Draken just fades away. He knows now. He knows enough, but Sturban's there with him. The timing. Oh, he's got the fight, but look at the lurk coming in through short. If it's not gonna be Draken, it would have been the lurk. Great work from Guild. I can't believe this round.
Guild stabilize in this half, and honestly, with it early on, I wouldn't have said this was going 6-6. Futbolists looked as if they had a really good grip on how they wanted to play Ascent.
Switching sides.
Comes
But
out.
now do they keep up, right? Like,
Well,
I don't know.
this for me, and again, you talk about confidence with a team like Guild. This really plays to their strengths now. Coming into the second half of this, and you got to argue a Futbolist may be considering swaying away from how they would usually feel in a map like this. Whether or not we're going to see a similar kind of play style on defense from them.
Well, this is the thing. I mostly when I watch a team, when we go over the demos, or excuse me, I always say demos. It's an old habit. We'll get them eventually, hopefully. When I go over the VODs, I always sit there and I'll watch the team on the attack, trying to get the style down, and you get an idea from a team's attack, right? But the defensive side, it was okay to me. But I mean, they're one of the strongest teams in their region, so it's hard to kind of get that into context of how they'll deal with this. Because Guild, we know they're aggressive. We know what they can do. They're very scary as that sort of team, and if Leo's having a bit of a terror, I think it's just seen right now who's towards the top, but regardless, you know what's going to happen here. But look at this hold so far, very unique. Deep wall towards middle, but the lane back towards A.
Yeah, that's it for Blistered. Okay, we're in a position to punish that actually, but big,
Going again.
big swing and
Sasuke,
miss.
Sasuke, he's on short. This could be huge. He gets one, he gets two. Great damage dealt by Sasuke. Kirax now going to be set up for success, but the spike plant comes in. Now Kirax needs his kill. He gets it. Good timing to try and fight against that. A bit of a grenade that comes down. Safe and Bonka, the last two alive. They have the time on their side, but certainly not the numbers.
Aggressive.
3 of them. They've got to. They need that first pick. Otherwise, they get overwhelmed. They get picked apart. They need to find a bit of a difference maker. And this could be it. Safe's timing's everything. He's on the flank. There's 1, 2, 3 players. He sees one. He takes him down. Good work here. Bonka now knows the next. They've got all the information, but they have to just finish the chapter on this story. They find Magoo and they need some more. Q-Rax there, but great work from Guild. I am in love with how they played that pistol.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. They need to come forward and I guess remove one of the players from Futbolists. And actually, Futbolists make the right decision there. They opt to stack up in tree. They don't want to kind of split focus, put one in heaven and leave 2 behind this wall. And but I guess maybe allow Guild to make a play like that, but Guild countering it perfectly.
So this should put them, if it goes the way it should, 8-6. Bonus round comes in, who knows? But it's a buffer. It's a lead.
Quite wide open for them though, as Futbolists elsewhere creeping through the map. Now that would be the one player they want to catch. Bonkar with the spike, but not going to do it. It's going to be really difficult for Futbolists to fight their way back in.
Yeah, with what they've got, I mean, they can cause chaos, right? That's just kind of it, right? Here we go. Oh, safe. That low sensitivity feels so bad. Just gets absolutely run over. Just sweeps the mouse pad, but there's still 4 alive with guns, with big boy armor. Now, where do they find the success? All of them are tucked on the site, so I guess there is that.
Yes. Numbers advantage, but like you said, you're seen quickly put that back in Guild's favor. But hold tight.
Hold up. Okay, Bonker and Leo go, wait, this is getting too dangerous, but Magoo's still alive, and he's still doing what he can for his side, but time's a factor. He's going to dive on forward. Leo on the other side, the bringer of death from map 1, does it again. Shuts down the hope, says, no, not going to happen here, boys. Yeah, you can make it costly, but we'll take the round.
Leo just clutching him out today. Yeah, and add another one to the tally for him. Really, Futbolist made this very costly, and yes, that's the big benefits of rounds like this. If you're going to lose it, make it costly. Have to see really, like, the Guild, and maybe actually just going to rely on a couple of light armors and pistols, to be honest.
Interesting.
I like this. This is the long play, really.
Yeah, it
You've
is.
seen with the showstopper there, that's the one that you always look for Guild to convert these bonus rounds. If you've seen gets it on early enough, always a possibility they can get a round win.
Okay, so they're playing quite deep here, it looks like, at least for now. The Futbolist not quite active on the site. Yassine going to take the space, clear as he goes. Happy to be the guinea pig on that. Got a little bit of time to throw in and send that. Oh,
No!
it's going to find one. It does. I thought that could have been two then. I was so nervous that the second would have fallen. Moj was right there. Spike now down. These pistols become a problem. Frenzies can work like this, but Moj doesn't even need C players to make his gun work.
Perfectly line up the wallbang there. Now, still a 4v4 though, and gotta be quick about breaking this retake.
It's so sketchy, isn't it? It feels so dicey. They're all just picking away at them. Leo finds two out of nowhere. Moj still going to try and keep the hope alive. Draken waiting so patiently. Look at this double stack towards hell. It's going to send them right there. That's safe with one. Sturban trying to clutch this out, but time, it ain't on his side. And all that Safe needs to do is live. He's bought the time. He's got the round.
No weapon
And
either.
devastating scenes for Sturban. He ain't getting away.
That's I gotta say, as soon as this Yassine that hits that trap wire, why on earth is Magoo still challenging? Like, just back up. You have to respect it. It's the one thing that Guild are gonna rely on in a round like this, is to get 1 or 2 kills off that showstopper. And like I said, it's Yassine that hits the trap wire, so they know exactly where he is. They know he's not pushing short. Just back away from heaven. Wait for it to run out. There's no reason for Magoo to be stood where he is. Like you said, they almost catch the second as well.
This is where it gets terrifying,
Ooh.
right? This is the big one. I mean, Yassine gets a backhand to the face, but he's just fine, gonna get healed on up. But oh, Draken, the aim's there, the patience pays dividends. Looks for another, not gonna get it so easily. Has to find a new approach, but a nice scoreline at 6-9.
Nice.
Nice. Magoo's HP, nice.
Let's get a couple in before the broadcast is over, right?
Yeah, no, look, hopefully right on listening at this point, guys. Shh, don't worry about it.
Delete
But
the
what we
file.
are a little... I love the juggling away of weapons as well. Gonna keep that rolling back, get it away. So again, making sure that can't fall into enemy hands. Really good consideration there from Leo. And after that the first exchange going down with the fact that Yassine is now no longer with us, you know, he's taken a little nap this round. They have to be careful to not give away too much. Now, this is the right side to hit if you had to pick one, considering the information we all know.
So this wall, we're about 15 seconds off
30
expiring,
seconds
so Crack's going to have to be very careful here. Guild already setting up behind it. Now the counter wall comes through. Crack's trying to tuck himself into a corner, but Bonkar just no respect. Hard clears him.
Careful.
Man advantage once again for Guild here as they get themselves onto B site.
Now, there's still threats here.
10 seconds left.
Let's look for those post
Spike
plants.
planted.
Draken's in an annoying spot. He does lose his life for it. Great shot from Magoo. You got to respect this guy. The aim is there. He's got his ultimate, so if they start feeling that chance coming through, maybe they'll invest. But I mean, time's going to be a factor here. There's a swing in, safe. Going to be posted up ahead, and here we go. Magoo's going for this one. They need to get in right here, right now.
Cosmic divide
Already,
as well.
the divide comes in. They wait so patiently. Moj still finds one stir, but again, they are desperate for this, and they pull it off.
What a recovery for actually the Cosmic Divide, perfectly timed, but it was a little deeper there. It makes it even more difficult for Futbolist to break through, but landing the shots when it counts. Durban picks himself up the last two with that Vandal. He retrieves. Actually, I gotta say, Futbolist will kind of stop the bleeding in how these early rounds have gone in the second half, because Guild were kind of hitting their groove.
Yeah, they were definitely getting there. This is a lifeline. This is literally their avenue back into this game, Hypok. Without that, drowning. Now we have Magoo on the op. Now that's something I want to keep my eyes on. Something we didn't get to kind of highlight too much. maybe the chance now to see what he can bring to the table.
I'm gonna back away after that. The early round, you see as he catches a couple of tags ad. Sturban's unlucky not to find that kill actually. Oh, he's pretty much on with that spam into the smoke. Now the wall's gone down in B main. That's going to allow Futbolist to reposition. Whether or not they're going to actively clear through. Now something you usually see Futbolist, as soon as they get contact elsewhere, they will send one out on a lurk or a flank through mid and potentially go and clear through this site. Now Sasuke going to catch all of this information. They try and break the wall.
Oh, this cross, man. Oh, it's not as clean as I expected, so that's a rifle now lost. They do have light armor as well, keep in mind.
The res as well.
Yeah, I wonder if Leo can get this clean. You can see him. Yeah, that's great work from Leo. It's worth the investment for big upgrade, and obviously the SMG can then filter through towards Bonka. Now,
30 seconds left.
where do they take this here? They're gonna at least kind of dismantle that stack, right? It was that A stack. They got that pick, which now means that obviously Futbolists have to respect that. They got to go somewhere else. They've got to at least account for the fact that it could have been that B piece, but no, it is going to be leaning back towards A. We do have Cypher here. All information will be fed now. Hitting on towards the side. Bonka gets a trade on Moj. I'm amazed. Now, there's that Reds coming back in. Spike is down. We've got a game on our hands in this round.
It's another one, like I said, Futbolist able to stop the bleeding on the first map with rounds like this. Now, Guild, gotta say, no business closing this out.
Nope. Nope. But would I be amazed if they did? Nope. I'm expecting it almost at this point. Here we go. 3 from heaven. Now, luckily for them, Sturban can hit the switch up, but the Tootsies get shown. He does manage to find safe, though, but they still do down here. That's the utility. What? Leo just clotheslines him. Magoo knows it's over. Oh, my God.
Okay, that's a tilter.
Okay. Okay. Ah, back it up, boys. We're tactical timeout, something. Because this is great, right? Sturban's here. Cool. Utility now goes into the left corner, but Qrax was a little further ahead. Bonka was still able to hit that while the utility was being thrown down. The timing was just a little off.
This is great. I mean, earlier we saw, in my eyes, one of the most comfortable Fnatic performances. This right here is the best Guild have looked. Again, it's kept,
hands down.
It's kept close. Futbolists are still clinging on. They're still fighting. They're
dangerous.
But Guild looks so damn good right now.
Those rounds, dude. The rounds we're seeing turned right there. No way. No way would I ever imagine.
Those are ones that, you know, historically Guild would, like I said, ego chow, like take 2 1v1s in a post plant and just like throw rounds like that away.
They're investing like walls to get back rifles. They're being super meticulous. It's sick. This is like the nuttiest version of Guild. Like, I honestly, I don't care which team you support. This is just a good team playing some great Valorant right now. That's what you got to be excited for, is watch Guild last time you saw them. They're still good. They're okay. Watch them in their losses or their wins. I don't mind. But this is a different look to a team, whether it be because they had to elevate to meet Futbolist at this level or whatever it may be. They have done work here. That's the most interesting part of this. Now, good work from Yassine on entry. This should be a walkthrough, but again, keep in mind there are 2 rifles here. And if Qrax does some damage, Hypok, we know that there's problems that can happen.
Overwhelmed. He's desperately trying to reposition to find an opportunity to find a kill, but now Futbolist down to 3. Guild are going to be able to set up and just stack into sight. It's so difficult for Futbolist to get anything going on this retake. Magoo immediately, the wallbang comes through off the back of that recon. Look at it. The amount of damage getting put through the wall there. Sturban down to 13 HP now.
Last player standing.
I can't believe what we're seeing. At the start of today, I think it was a fair assessment that I said Guild are probably top 5. They push towards the higher end, but they often lose out to your slightly more established teams, your FPXs. I think even at the start of this month, there was an interview that said, okay, we're chasing those spots. We're not, we're working towards it. The team we're seeing today has excelled beyond some of the other EU teams, I'd say, against weaker Turkish teams. And bear in mind, Futbolists are the best out of their region, hands down. And right now, Guild are working them over.
A class above, honestly. That's a rare statement to ever make with with Guild and other top teams. You got to say it. We talked about it coming into this show. Guild's story is just the story of highs and lows. But right here, this is such a good look for them. To be able to continue through with this upward trend we've seen recently from them and making moves against teams that would usually just roll over Guild, to be quite honest with you. This is fantastic for them. In terms of confidence, which they talk about themselves. Okay.
Oh.
Well, wasn't expecting that.
The 3-for-1?
Yeah.
The famous saying. I heard Zesh saying it. 3-for-1. He's got the best sayings, prancing horses. Who collects the taxes again? The Clutch Minister. I love it, dude.
He must be paid.
He must be paid. The Clutch Minister
Leo
must be paid.
Leo.
And Leo has received his funding. I love that phrase so much, you have no idea. It brings me actual joy. And speaking of joy for the EU fans, this is going to be bringing that absolutely smug little grin on the faces, isn't it? You can't get enough of it. Every single EU team has potentially won their game, unless now with the 12th round soon to be appointed on the board, Futbolists can turn it around and reverse sweep. Hypoc, look, we all know we're EU casters, right? We enjoy the game style. You know, personally, I love watching North America as well. That's very much up there on my list. You know, the Turkish region, I was a little new to. I'd caught up on all the bits and pieces. But it's kind of nice to be from EU for once, huh?
I'll be honest, I was terrified for this weekend. Absolutely terrified.
Yep.
Do you know what? I've seen every single EU team kind of exceed my expectations. I'll be honest, damage control is the headline. That's the headline for me. Discipline and ability to kind of really shut down the tools. Yes, you can talk about it. This is some of these teams, these Turkish teams, Futbolist in particular, like they're a back to basics. It's bread and butter gameplay from them. This is like you could step back 9 months and see the same composition played the same way, but with kind of the life cycle of EU, with the development of some of the composition we've seen, and Guild isn't one of the teams I'd put in that kind of bracket, but we've seen Euro and Astra come in for Guild today.
Oh, it's mad. Look, if that's the case, I want to see what Fnatic brings out next. Like, hey, we're the ones who do this weird stuff, not you. Just wait. Yassine wants in, though. Roll it back. It's the Yassine you know and love. The man who just yeets on forward, rocket out, just getting on in. And yeah, I'd be running too. I wouldn't be near that. Now, he sent them packing, so they've got a good... Oh no, Sturban, they haven't checked. Oh no, you don't leave him unchecked. Good trade for Bonka. He could have just absolutely ripped him to shreds. But Yassine's aggression is unmatched. He's known for it, but he gets dealt with. Kurax puts him down. Res comes in. And we're back to an advantage number-wise for Futbolist. Leo, Safe, and Bonka to try and close out right now.
Cosmic Divide goes up as well, so Guild want to try and convert this round. Again, in an awkward position, it really does make things difficult. It's going to mask the noise of that door reposition as well. So wait for that flank to come through from Tree.
And now two stand, Safe and Leo. This should be the retake. This should be fine. There shouldn't be a problem. Safe though spots one. Doesn't matter. They're there. They live to fight another day. Futbolists convert with 4 alive. Rifles upgraded. There is still a chance.
What's left in the tank? I mean, this is... They got to dig deep. 4 rounds to fight back into, and Guild really have the opportunity. They can play this kind of scrappy play style where they can go for these 1-for-1s, because if Futbolists aren't finding kind of clean round wins, it makes it so much more difficult. I love this use of the Cosmic Divide again, though. It just creates a kind of a little corner for Safe to try and reposition into. And the other thing is it masks the noise of the door reposition. Again, whether or not Onkar was able to get close enough and really do too much damage there, but there you go, Guild. They're going to try and find themselves a favorable fight here.
Magoo needs to live in this one. Does seem to have kept his life. Yeah, didn't lose out there. Got a little worried as I think the tag came through down to 70 HP. Be just fine. Waiting patiently. Tag comes out, but it's not towards him. So Sasuke's feeling a little worse for wear, but tries to get the most of his life for now. Leo on the other side. There's pressure from main potentially about to build. This is still feeling highly pressured. Futbolist starting to feel a little strangled here. You can see the hands around the throat, but managed to maintain for now.
Gonna find this trap wire in mid. Guild now gonna pivot back over towards market. Magoo does get tagged off that.
Okay, they've reset the stack. This is nice. They can re-aggress now if they want to. Oh, this is just classic play. They pull away the stack by showing a little presence towards middle. They can re-aggress now. They've only got one player to get past. Now one towards the site, yes, but there's the wall goes up, and here we go. The last stand begins. Sturban is on the side. He has support, but Safe finds him. Great answer from Sasuke, though, from up in heaven. 10 seconds on the plant now. Little unorthodox. He gets caught out. Sasuke trying to save the day here. And great work from Magoo in the end. Futbolists breathe for just a second, holding their breath for the last couple of rounds. 9-12. It ain't over yet.
Really good. I mean,
10 seconds
actually,
left.
Sasuke kind of bailing them out in this scenario here. Raken desperately tries to find the second, but Futbolist clinging on still. Blade Storm available, Neural Theft online now. Sturban with his ultimate. The Guild, let's say it, they can keep running these rounds. Only 3-round deficit now. That gap is tightening.
It is, and we talk about comebacks at double digits, generally. That's where we set the bar. For now, yes, Futbolists are taking the right steps. I know their fans will be absolutely molding at me, but it's a rule we stick to. At double digits, you can genuinely pull it off. Right now, one slip up, one error, it's gone. But for now, they've stabilized. Given themselves at least the key components to work forward. And Guild can take their time for a second.
Careful.
And that shaky feeling of, okay, they've been able to close a few now. They've been able to catch up now. We gotta not let it go too far. Was that a double face coming in on short? That's a little dicey for me. Don't love it. It's a 1-for-1 trade though.
Guild actually well positioned again. They give away the sound cue on B as well with the orb, and will cancel out the ultimate.
Is this going to be a misread of information? I'm wondering how much they bite into that. They've still got 2 players super dedicated towards back of B. You've got the Jet kind of leaning around middle, so essentially it is just going to be on that Omen, kind of, Sturban again. He's going to have so much pressure coming his way. Now, looking like he's getting the idea here with the utility from Astra coming in, but here we go. It's going to be a side take. I don't know if anything's going to stop that. He gets warded away with a bit of spam. Spike plant comes through. It's retake time again. A retake in a 4v4 here. Magoo this time gets tagged up. No freebies to begin with. No easy starts to be had. Now let's look at the positioning in these post plants as well, Hypoc. It's pretty solid. It's pretty decent.
They're going to get a spike cam into heaven though. That's huge from Safe to give away some of this information early on. Slow things down a little bit. Magoo did catch that here and has the Blaze on Bonker. Swings out, finds Sturban.
They did not expect it, and no, it's just down to Curax, that's it. A 1v3 now, and these positions are so good for Guild. They're not favorable by any means, and Guild close out at 13-9. Futbolist fumble, and I cannot believe we have this many EU teams going through.
Yeah, I mean, look at their faces. This means the world to them. They're absolutely gassed about that one, and what a performance.
They should be.
What a performance
They should
from
be.
them. This, like I said, for me, has been the most comfortable Guild have looked, especially playing with a few different things, playstyle wise, composition wise,
Creative,
exactly.
everything. It was perfect.